A jury has found Joseph Paul DeWise guilty of killing his wife in this house. I'm Cody Boyer. What happens next?
People from around the world are paying money to walk dogs at this California park. I'm Chris Martinez with how they're helping give shelter animals a second chance.
I think that's super cool. Just ahead of 6:30 on this Thursday, Chet Lehman, Donna Kelly, Matt Elwell with you here. Walking dogs. It's good for the dog, it's good for you. We'll have that story in a moment.
And unconditional love besides the exercise.
Exactly.
You know what? That feels just like Montana this morning. You know that? Unconditional love to go around until I give the snow forecast, right?
And I appreciate you both taking the leash off while we came out of the commercial break. That's awesome.
We are tracking the potential some snow. Most of it's going to be light in the valleys, although we could see as much as an inch in a few areas. West Yellowstone likely to be the bigger impact. These southern mountains of Montana likely to see the heaviest amount of snow over the course of the next few days. Temperatures right now very mild, into the 20s and 30s for most of us. 28 degrees this morning in West Yellowstone, about an inch of snow overnight. Doesn't appear to be anything falling in west this morning, according to our weather watcher Ken. Thanks for sending that report in. Temperatures into the 30s. There's an isolated chance of a few scattered showers across the area. It almost looks like daylight right there, doesn't it?
That's awesome.
No, that's current, and that's the moon, so enjoy it. We'll talk more about what you can expect over the course of the next few days in just a few minutes.
That's awesome. Thank you, Matt. 6:30 now, our top story this half hour. After 7 days of a trial in Bozeman, Joseph Paul DeWise was found guilty of killing his wife.
M10's Cody Boyer watched closely throughout the trial and has our update after talking with the chief prosecutor.
To the charge of deliberate homicide of Lauren DeWise, guilty.
It was very emotional for them and everything that they went through.
To Chief Prosecutor Eric Kitzmiller, it's a result of nearly 2 years of teamwork.
Without the cooperation and communication between those different agencies, something like this could not have been done.
Kitzmiller says the burden of proof was the first hurdle, from the audio and videotapes to the recovered gun, the bullets found in the home where Lauren was found dead and Ashley Van Hemert was found badly injured. He adds Van Hemert's recovery is inspirational.
When you see the struggles that Ashley has been through, and the progress that she has made over the past few months to try and begin the road to recovery, she's able to walk up to the witness stand, and that she's able to articulate what she can recall that happened that evening, and that she's able to face the offender in this particular case. It was very powerful.
Kitzmiller says domestic violence like this case is a growing problem in the Gallatin Valley, something the attorney's office aims to curb.
Coming forward is not easy. That there is a degree of manipulation and control that the offender has exerted over those people.
And Van Hemert wasn't alone. DeWise's kids, Natalie and Joseph DeWise Jr., had both spoken to a silent courtroom before their father, now convicted of shooting and killing their stepmother, did so himself.
I have been falsely accused here. I didn't do it.
They were very brave in coming forward, and it was just part of the process of them getting out from underneath of his influence.
Again, DeWise's sentencing is set for February 4th of next year. A pre-sentence investigation report will be prepared in the meantime, and Kitzmiller says the defense will typically have a chance to address any issues after that.
In other news this morning, at 6:33, Bozeman firefighters say a house had to be evacuated after a can of bear spray ended up in the wrong place. That's an understatement, by the way. The Bozeman Fire Department sent 3 trucks to this home on Annie Street yesterday afternoon after getting calls about a possible explosion. Now, according to crews, that turned out to come from a can of bear spray that was in an oven when the oven was preheating. Firefighters quickly ventilated the home, made sure that no one was hurt.
There are so many questions that everyone has been talking about there, so maybe we'll get a follow-up on that story for you, and I bet you have some questions as well. Well, while it may still be closed, you can now see the restoration effort to bring back Bozeman's Bogert Pavilion to the public. Bozeman city officials say the winter stabilization effort is mostly complete, having removed the beam that collapsed under last winter's snow and a large portion of the shell itself. Crews have installed some posts throughout the structure, making sure that it will not collapse any further this winter. The city is working with a contractor to finalize plans for the full repair in spring of 2020. The pavilion will be renamed the Anderson Pavilion at Bogert Park, and after the city received a $350,000 donation from that longtime Gallatin Valley resident, Marcia Anderson, to make that all happen.
In other news this morning, Northwestern Energy made headlines yesterday with an announcement that it intends to acquire 185 megawatts of additional power from Colstrip. But the company still plans to go out for bids to acquire even more power to serve Montana customers. Northwestern Vice President John Hines says the company will ask for bids next month for 200 to 250 megawatts of power. It's all part of Northwestern's long-term plan to secure an additional 750 megawatts of power to serve its 370,000 Montana electrical customers. The company says it wants to reduce the need to buy power on the open market to meet peak demand. However, no word yet on what this additional power may cost Montana consumers. Hines says that won't be known until the company chooses the winning bidders. Critics of the company's plan say it's biased towards acquiring more fossil fuel resources like natural gas plants. But Hines says Northwestern will use a third-party evaluator to go through those bids.
We won't even see the bids or be interacting with bidders until the very final group is selected, when they'll provide the top tier, top 3 or 4 resources perhaps, that they have evaluated and chosen. So it truly is an independent process.
Northwestern will make a final decision on which bids to choose and submit those to the Public Service Commission for review.
We're going to shift gears here just a little bit at 6:35. Surveillance video of the attackers in Jersey City made it clear they targeted the kosher market.
As CBS News' Laura Podesta reports, the mayor pronounced the bloodshed a hate crime against Jews, but police warn they have not established a motive for the attack.
Mourners crowded streets in both Brooklyn and Jersey City at funerals for 2 of the victims of Tuesday's shooting inside a New Jersey grocery store. This is surveillance video of the suspects. Watch as they park a U-Haul van, get out with rifles, and enter a kosher grocery store in Jersey City, firing. 3 people inside were killed, including Mindell Ferenz, a 31-year-old mother of 3 who owned the store with her husband, 49-year-old Douglas Miguel Rodriguez, who worked there, and 24-year-old Moshe Deutsch, a customer. A local rabbi broke down, describing the Jewish community's reaction.
How can we, as a community, as people, bear that?
The suspects have been identified as 47-year-old David Anderson and 50-year-old Francine Graham. Investigators believe the 2, who were killed during the attack, were a couple and identified as Black Hebrew Israelites, a designated hate group.
From our standpoint, there is no question that this is a hate crime, and anti-Semitism should be called out aggressively and firmly.
Investigators warn they have not yet established a motive for the attack. Minutes before the stolen U-Haul pulled up to the store, Joseph Seals, a detective wearing plain clothes, was shot and killed by the suspects at a cemetery a mile away. He leaves behind a wife and 5 children. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
Anderson and Graham were also the prime suspects in the killing of a driver who was found dead in a car trunk in a nearby New Jersey town over the weekend.
6:37 now. This is an awesome story. I love this. Some people in California are actually lining up to pay to walk rescue dogs.
Part of a program that allows customers to rent a dog for a hike and help give the animal a second chance at life. Chris Martinez has our report.
These are real rescue dogs. These are not necessarily happy-go-lucky animals.
In the hands of caring strangers, these shelter dogs are getting a second chance.
These are rescue dogs, and they don't have the best behavior. They've been abused, neglected, any number of things.
Ryan Boyd says correcting that behavior is one of the reasons for this rescue dog hike. Each week, walkers pay $45 each to take the animals on a 2-hour climb through Hollywood's Runyon Canyon. Every walker takes a turn with each dog, and after several times out, Boyd says the once skittish animals turn over a new leaf.
You can just see the behavior improve, and then the dog's adoptable.
The walk is booked online through Airbnb experiences, and all the money raised goes to Free Animal Doctor, a nonprofit that provides life-saving surgeries for ill and injured rescue dogs. A majority of the walkers are tourists, like Paul Westerhoff. The dog owner from Germany was missing his pet back home and saw this as a chance to scratch that itch.
It's a perfect opportunity, being out in the nature, spending time with a dog.
All right, Brownie, doing good.
So far, the walks have led to the adoptions of dozens of animals, and the hikes are growing, with as many as a couple dozen walkers now signing up each week.
they get to hang out with dogs, rescue dogs, and they get to have a positive social impact.
An impact that will ultimately save lives. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
What a great program, and it's become so popular that they're expanding it to other parts of California, including a hike near San Diego. But good for the dog and good for the people. What a win-win.
Fundraiser on a positive way, everybody wins. It is a win-win-win all the way around.
And those adoptions that they're getting from it too.
Love it.
I love it too.
It's
That's a great story. Love dogs. Wish dogs lasted longer than the 7 years of human,
I
right?
know, that's for sure. Well, we're going to end this segment on that positive note, but we are going to take a quick break here. When we come back, such a great invention. So many of us hardly go anywhere without it, but how your mobile phone could actually hurt your face. We'll have that, but first let's check in with the folks at CBS This Morning.
Ahead on CBS This Morning, Democratic presidential hopeful Pete Buttigieg will be in Studio 57. We'll ask where he stands on impeachment, his plan to win minority voter support, and other major issues. Plus, a new warning for smart toys. What you need to know about protecting your kids' information from online hackers before buying connected devices this holiday season. And she's up for more Grammys, 8 than any other artist. Rap sensation Lizzo will also be here in Studio 57. All that coming up when we see you at 7.